Yeah, I wanted to do this one a little bit differently because I normally just play video games, but I want to start up with some news and then go into playing video games with whatever. I'll figure it out as I go. But let's get into some fucking news. First off, I wanted to start with the Tate brothers. Actually, I'm gonna move this down. I want to start off with the ICE shooting.
We are here today in the shadow of tragedy. Yesterday, Joan Sebastian Guerrero, a 26-year-old young man from Colombia, a husband, a worker, a father to a little girl, was shot and killed by federal immigration officers right here in our community. Now, before we discuss policies and budgets, we must remember the human cost of yesterday's murder. We must remember that a family has been shattered. We must remember that a little girl with a pink backpack who went to school yesterday morning will now grow up without her father. It's the second time this week, or in the past week, that a federal ICE agent has stopped the wrong vehicle while executing an arrest warrant and fatally shot someone.
And see, that's a self-admission. That's a self-admitted claim that they willingly let people know that he was not the target. So when you think about this, it really comes to mind just like what caused them to. I mean, I don't know the entire story. I know that basically. I mean, that's why I'm watching these videos. I want to get more info, but I do know that they claim that he was trying to run them over. We heard this with Peretti. We heard well, not Peretti with Good. When he called her a fucking bitch and shot her. So that was insane, but and it was clear from the video footage that he was not in any danger. She was not trying to hit him or ram him. But they still stand behind this story because they think that they can just tell you whatever the fuck you want, and you'll believe their lies. But obviously, people are seeing that that's not true. So it's interesting that they're using the same argument here to say that he was in imminent danger to them. It's just fucking bullshit. It's so stupid. Um, but yeah, to be like he wasn't even the target. He was just he fit the description, which is a huge red flag for anyone who's aware, like who's become familiar with being a person of color. I mean, like if you read the literature, you know that profiling, racial profiling, is huge in police community, and that you fit the description is a very much like, oh, you're black, oh, you're Mexican, oh, you look like you could be a criminal. This is basically how it comes off. So yeah, I think it's interesting that they admitted that he was not the target, and they still gunned him down in the street. They executed this man.
Agents were not wearing body cameras in either shooting. Now, no matter what your politics are, no one should leave for work in the morning and never come back home to their family. All of our hearts are with them, and our community stands ready to support them. There is a straight line between from Senator Collins to the tragedy that we saw yesterday. As chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee, she holds the most powerful gavel in Congress when it comes to federal spending. She has the power to put strict conditions on every single dollar that ICE receives. Yet instead, time and time again, she has handed ICE a blank check. Now, there's a saying in science and in healthcare.
So yeah, Susan Collins is not innocent in this. Okay, this looks like this was July 18th, so this is yesterday. The ICE shooting in Maine upended Susan Collins' re-election race. Graham Plattner's exit had dominated the contest, but the killing of Johann Sebastian Duran Guerrero starkly shifted Mainer's attention. Nothing has absorbed Maine politics like the candidacy of Graham Plattner, almost from the moment he announced his run for the U.S. Senate in mid-August 2025. He drew big crowds, lots of attention, his strongest backers stuck with him through controversy after controversy until Gianni Recco publicly accused him of sexual assault. Plattner denied the allegations, but his support collapsed. And yeah, that was crazy when that happened also. I remember being shocked. I mean, not as much as I was never super on the Plattner train, which I know makes it sound like a fucking Democrat. But yeah, it's true. I'm not I'm from Maine, so he looks like his policies and his platform is really solid. But obviously, he had a lot of baggage from the very beginning. So I think it's something to learn from. I don't think it takes away from the movement as a whole at all. I think it's by any means it just shows that you need to be conscious of and do thorough checks of the people who you're platforming. You just have to be conscious, especially if you're organizing again behind someone to be like running for power in government. You need to do your due diligence, is what we've seen here, and obviously Plattner fell through the cracks. A lot of people excused things early on in the wake of hoping that he could be the change in government, which we will never see, thankfully, because he is a piece of shit, as far as I can tell. So, yeah, anyways, yet even after Plattner officially withdrew his nominee on July 10th, and the Maine Democratic Party began the process of replacing him, it seemed like Mainers were going to keep talking about him for a while. Many of his committed voters were deeply disappointed about what they learned. Others were very angry that the news had been revealed. Some suggest they might write in Plattner's name or not vote at all in the fall. Please don't do that. If you are pissed about what Plattner did, don't write his name in. Please don't do it. Go vote. Go vote. I don't care who you vote for. I mean, I obviously have a preference for who you vote for, but please vote. We need you to vote. Not that that's the end all be all by any means, but that's at least the bare minimum. Just vote. Don't write in anyone's name. Don't write in Kanye West. Of course, it wasn't just Guerrero's death that was a story, but also who shot him. An ICE officer and the circumstances of his killing. For one, unlike other shootings by ICE officers, the Department of Homeland Security did not even claim that Guerrero posed any sort of imminent. Wait, they didn't? Wait, is that true? Posed any sort of imminent threat, or the shooter feared for their life. Rather, DHS said that Guerrero's vehicle attempted to flee the scene and fearing for public safety. And I was, I see. Yeah, I heard of this, but I assumed they meant that public safety was of the ice shooter, of this vigilante. DHS halts most vehicle stops for immigration operations after fatal ICE shootings. Oh yeah, I remember this. Then this is their response to Guerrero's shooting. I don't buy it for a second. I don't think they're gonna stop. They're gonna keep murdering people. I said this when they first there was a report that was saying that they're trying to up their quota of how many people they're supposed to pretty much detain and kidnap. And I said at the time, this we're going to see a lot more pointless violence, pointless deaths because of this ramped up fear mongering, this ramped up pretty much just execution squad at this point. So yeah, and it's coming true. We're seeing a lot more people, unfortunately. I mean, what can I even say? It's not like it's news. It's not. I mean, it's news, but it's not like it's new to me. So, witnesses were shaken by what they saw. One bystander, Daniel Boucher, choked up recounting his experience, reported the Associated Press. His face was bloody. His head was bloody. Boucher said to the victim, "I clearly heard the victim say, 'I tried to stop.'" M. Ackerley, another neighbor who heard the shots, looked out the window to see some of what happened, told a local news station, "It shatters the illusion that Maine is safe. I don't know what he did, but he didn't deserve to be executed in the street." And that is exactly it. He didn't do anything according to the DHS. He didn't do anything wrong. He tried to drive away, but then in his own words, from eyewitness accounts, he said, "I tried to stop." So I'm assuming he means he tried to stop the vehicle. He may have panicked. I don't know. I'm speculating here, but still, I think that it's important to note that his last words were, "I tried to stop." I mean, this is heartbreaking. It's fucking disgusting. Like, and this woman is absolutely right. He looked at her window. She he didn't. No matter what he did, even I don't care if you look in his past and like they did with George Floyd and try and say, oh, he had a criminal record or whatever. I don't give a fuck. You don't know that when you stop him on the street. It's not ICE's job to murder people. That's not even a police officer's job. It's not their job to murder people. I don't know, people fucking love the idea of it for some reason. It's so stupid. Maine is quickly mobilized with demonstrations in Biddeford, Portland, Bangor, and Scarborough. "This is a land for people who want to be here," said one rally goer. "It doesn't matter who you are, where you came from, what color your skin is, that's what America is about." Both Senate candidates and members of the public criticized Collins. Protesters in Biddeford crowded the doorway at the Senate's local office, shouting, "Vote her out." Senate candidate Shanna Bellows argued that she had already acted when, as Secretary of State, she blocked ICE from getting undercover license plates and proclaimed there should be no secret police in our state. Another contender, Troy Jackson, for the ICE's rogue actions. Troy Jackson is definitely my he's the Graham Platinum replacement. I think he's got the platform, and as far as I've heard, I mean, I'd be shocked if they got someone with as much baggage as Plattner did when he first started. Yeah, but I mean, I think he's definitely going to be a good replacement for Plattner. I hope he wins. I don't know what the polling looks like. I don't know if they've done one since Plattner dropped out, but I would love to see him succeed and make some change like Plattner was supposed to do. But he blasted Collins for voting to tend $70 billion to ICE with no reforms. A third potential Democratic nominee, Nirav Shah, contended there was a straight line from Senator Collins to lawlessness we saw yesterday. Well, as I've noted, some Plattner supporters were deeply unhappy that he wasn't going to be the Democratic nominee. His absence in the aftermath of the shooting didn't seem to matter in the least. And why should it have? Like Maine, like Minnesota, is a highly participatory state. It both plays a response similar to ICE incursions this past winter. And I mean, alright, now Collins is again responding in her classic both sides way. On the one hand, the incumbent urged DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen to cease all non-urgent vehicle stops. Okay, talk about a fucking band-aid over a gunshot wound to the head. And separately acknowledged the lack of recording device on the shooter was extremely unfortunate. On the other hand, Collins blamed Democrats for a delay in body cameras and contended that eliminating ICE would make our country less safe. You are the dumbest, Senator Collins. You are so stupid. You are the dumb. You're saying that the ICE it's the Democrats' fault. It's somehow Democrats are the problem. It's not the people fucking executing civilians. United States, like legal residents in our streets. That's not the problem. It's not them with guns pulling people out of the cars. It's the Democrats partly to blame, which I think is actually true because Democrats are not doing enough to stop ICE. They should be abolishing and punishing ICE. Absolutely. And it would make our country, it would not make our country less safe because we've been ramping up this since President Trump's second term, and we've only seen more deaths. We've had less, like, the amount of, I mean, this is like a very common fucking fact, but whatever. House.gov. Undocumented immigrants offending rate lower than U.S. born citizen rate. So there we go. There you have it, right there. There you go. They're doing less crime than U.S. born citizens. But apparently it's a fucking huge issue for Republicans that we have immigrants coming over who aren't doing these crimes, but they're painted as these criminals, even though literally the National Institute of Justice, official website of the United States government, mind you, Department of Justice, it said this in September 12th of 2024. So it's bullshit. It's so stupid. I didn't get through the first video, did I?
What's predictable is preventable. And when you give an agency tens of billions of dollars without rules, without transparency, with zero consequences, yesterday's tragedy is exactly what you get. Senator Collins has funded the abuses, she has confirmed the leaders, and she has refused to make them answer for anything and failed to impose safeguards. Simply put, Senator Collins has failed. We cannot rely on her to rein in a rogue agency that she herself is bankrolling. It is time to abolish this broken agency. It is time to fire the leadership that has let it run wild, and it is time to retire politicians like Susan Collins who have made this lawlessness possible. This investigation and this murder occurred in Maine's jurisdiction, and thus it should be led by Maine's Attorney General, Maine State Police, and thus why I call on ICE to ensure that every piece of evidence is shared with those investigators in a way that it was not shared after the murder of Renee Good in Minneapolis. Remarkable. Wow. You bet, guys.
3, 2, 1.
Shaw for Sen. Yeah, we just read about him a little bit, but he's right. No, he's right. I mean, he's not. I don't know much about Shaw, but
until the midterm election.
I don't know much about Shaw, but he's absolutely right. Susan Collins has blood on her hands, straight up.